So we got the homie, man, ESTG, man. We about to react to the story of ESTG. Now, the first time I reacted to ESTG, it was a song called Real As It Gets with Lil Baby. That was the first time I heard of ESTG. And since then, bro been making hella noise, though. Like, the streets been rocking with him, you feel me? He got buzz, bro. Like, he's growing as an artist, bro. For real. And he called himself, like, one of the real niggas, like real niggas, bro. I remember it was a music video. I think it was Real As It Gets music video, and he said something like that. And like Lil Baby was like, "Oh, you got to stand on that," some shit like that, man. Y'all could go back and watch the music video. But this is like, I never knew his story, you feel me? And then my homies was like, "Yo, this dude was a football player. He got hurt, you feel me? Then he was in the streets making money, and then he turned his street stuff into making music." You feel me? It's just like, for example, Lil Baby didn't want to make music. Lil Baby was just a street nigga, bro. Until he got into the studio, blase, and then he just started rapping. Like, rapping was never, in a conversation with these artists for it. Just like, it just happened, So I definitely want to know his story, his background. That's what we finna get into, man. The story of ESTG. You feel me? ESTG is really going crazy, bro. Like, definitely one of the newest, toughest artists right now, bro. For sure, man. Like, facts. So let's dive into this, man. Y'all can leave a like on this video. Let's see what's going on, man. The story of ESTG. Let's get it.
ESTG is one of the hottest up-and-coming street rappers, and he got a pretty crazy story behind his music. First, he was headed to the NFL.
Wait, he been had a low cut? That nigga had dreads. Lost me. He didn't have hair, bro? Lost me.
ESTG is one of the hottest up-and-coming street rappers, and he got a pretty crazy story behind his music. First, he was headed to the NFL, then to the top of the streets, and now he's putting Kentucky on the map with his music. This is the true story of ESTG. ESTG was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Growing up, both of his parents was hustling in the streets, and G was surrounded by crime 24/7. He says his dad had a gold tooth, a tattoo, and had already been shot by the time he was 11 years old. G's family was doing what they had to do to survive, but their influence would eventually lead to G jumping off the porch just like them. Like a lot of kids growing up in the hood, G's home life was rough. His pops was in prison for part of his childhood, and he had to stay with his grandma after his mom lost custody of him. But all of the struggle just made him try even harder to get it out the mud. His first opportunity came from football. G was a 3-sport athlete and played basketball and football and also ran track. But football was where he excelled the most. G was the #1 ranked linebacker in the state and was so good on the field, he earned a scholarship to play for Indiana State University. That made him the first person in his family to make it to college. He later told Pitchfork, "All everyone cared about in Louisville is making it to college sports. I had to try to make it for my people, especially because I've never been bad at nothing." G played a couple of seasons at Indiana State University before transferring to Stephen F. Austin University. Everything was looking up for him, and there was even a chance he would go pro after college ball. But then something went down that cost him his scholarship and freedom. The whole time he was in school, G was living a double life. Everyone knew he was putting in work on the field, but he was putting in even more in the streets. G ain't want to rely on anyone else for his success, so he used his connections in Louisville to start pushing weight. Selling a little weed is normal for college students, but G was moving different. When the feds caught up to him in 2016, he was caught with 12 pounds of weed and thousands of dollars in cash. G got hit with a drug trafficking charge that made him lose his scholarship. At first, he was looking at a potential 10-year sentence, but his lawyer eventually got the charge reduced to a Class D felony, and he accepted a plea in exchange for 5 years probation. Everything could have been over at that point, but G managed to avoid jail time. But staying out of prison wasn't his only issue. He also had a son on the way. With his opportunity for an NFL career gone overnight, he had no other skills to support himself and his family. So back in Louisville, he hopped right back into the streets. He said in an interview, "Anything that a nigga feel like a street nigga is supposed to do, I done did it, period. Anything being sold, anything being shipped, anything being protected, I done did it." Even though he couldn't make it out through football, G knew he didn't want to spend the rest of his life caught up in the streets. So while he was on house arrest for the trafficking case, he bought some recording equipment and set up a studio in his bathroom. He got inspired to start making music about his life after seeing Lil Baby perform on TV. Baby comes from a similar background, so G knew he had a shot at making it in the industry too. At first, he was dropping tracks under the name Big G, but then he changed it to ESTG after forming Everybody Shine Together Entertainment with his homies. Fans connected to the music instantly. G used everything he'd been through in his life as an inspiration to create hard-hitting, authentic tracks. One of the people who helped bring him into the rap game was a dude named YOG Peso. G and Peso played football at the same high school and was super close. They dropped a collab track in 2018 called The Come Up and plan on dropping more. But just when their music partnership was set to take off, something serious went down that led to a 27-year-old studio owner getting shot to death. Peso and G were supposed to meet up at Quality Over Quantity Media to record new music. It's not clear what exactly happened, but their crews got into a fight and someone started letting off shots. Brian Osley, aka Big O, or Coach O, was a football coach who helped start Quality Over Quantity Media. He was caught in the crossfire and killed, but police don't believe he was a target. Coach O's murder led to a split in the Louisville music scene that's still going on today. Peso and his camp rep the West End area of the city, while G comes from a set called Newburgh. After their crews got into that fight, the two sides been on their own wave ever since. Even though he lost an old friend to the streets, G was only moving forward. His mixtapes was buzzing in the city, and he was building a fan base outside of Louisville too. Then Louisville superstar Jack Harlow heard his new track, New Number, and hit him up to collaborate. But G already has a bad reputation in the city. The police warned Harlow to stay away from G, but Jack ignored them and linked up anyway. Teaming up with one of the hottest rappers in the world was the biggest move in G's career yet, but that didn't mean his struggles was over. In late 2019, he suffered another setback that almost ended his life. In September 2019, ESTG had just linked up with Sada Baby for a video shoot. When G and his brother left the spot, the ops slid through and let off shots into G's whip. He got hit 4 times in the stomach and grazed in the left eye. His brother got hit in the leg, but luckily, it wasn't too serious. G said in a No Jumper interview that he thought he was gonna die, but his brother kept him awake and talking till they got to the hospital. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital recovering, then had to have a bunch of surgery.
Yo, I knew I wasn't tripping, bro. Definitely had hair, bro. Like I'm looking at this dude, I'm like, yo, he looked mad different, bro. Like he looked mad different in these videos, bro. Like I would say that to myself in my head. I'm like, yo, damn, this nigga have hair, bro. But nah, that sounds like some 50 Cent type vibe right there, like getting shot. Like, even though 50 got shot, plenty, like, word. But damn, bro.
The hottest rappers in the world was the biggest move in G's career yet, but that didn't mean his struggles was over. In late 2019, he suffered another setback that almost ended his life. In September 2019, ESTG had just linked up with Sada Baby for a video shoot. When G and his brother left the spot, the ops slid through and let off shots into G's whip. He got hit 4 times in the stomach and grazed in the left eye. His brother got hit in the leg, but luckily, it wasn't too serious. G said in a No Jumper interview that he thought he was gonna die, but his brother kept him awake and talking till they got to the hospital. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital recovering, then had to have a bunch of surgeries to restore the vision in his eye. In the same interview, he said the situation was taken care of and implied that justice was served in the streets. No one knows who the shooters were, but a dude from West End named H Block Duke raps about it on a diss track called EST, Everybody Shot Together. In the video for the song, H Block used footage of G laid up in the hospital with an eye patch and staples in his stomach while he raps, "We get on EST for free. Ask G about that freeway. We the reason for that bad eye and that zipper on his stomach, and a couple of his dead homies." The bar about G's dead homies is allegedly about a dude named Austin Floyd that G was close with. Floyd was murdered back in October 2020, and a lot of people believe West End was behind the hit. Then a dude from Newburgh named Warren Freeman was arrested for killing a West End affiliate named Reginald Johnson. Freeman's case eventually got dropped, but it looked like Johnson's death might have been payback for Floyd. There was bodies dropping left and right around G, but he kept his focus on the music and kept leveling up his career. He put out tracks with top artists like Lil Baby and Lil Durk, but then tragedy struck again. In March 2020, G's mom passed away from cancer. Then 1 week later, his brother was gunned down in the streets of Louisville. G's life has been a roller coaster full of highs and terrible lows, but he never lets the bad times keep him down. He fought through the pain of getting shot and losing his mom and brother, then signed a massive deal with Yo Gotti's CMG label in 2021. Complex asked him in an interview if all the pain and death he's been surrounded by has changed him. G told him, "You asked if my run-ins with death changed me, and I think they might have changed death. If you ask the devil, did G change you? He'd probably be like, hell yeah." It seems like no matter what happens, G finds a way to rely on himself and make it through. But now the feds are after the entire EST crew, and 10 affiliates have already been arrested, including G's manager, Eric Mosley. In September 2021, Eric Mosley's hotel room was raided by the FBI. They searched the room and found a kilo of coke, 2 pistols, and $100,000 in cash. Mosley got hit with serious charges like possession with intent to distribute and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. Then the FBI went after 9 more EST affiliates in an investigation they called Project Safe Neighborhoods. During the arrest, the cops allegedly found drugs, guns, a stolen car, and over $100K in cash. According to police, EST ain't just a music collective. It's an organized crime group that runs heroin, fentanyl, and other drugs through Louisville. They also say EST is responsible for several murders, including a 3-year-old girl. Authorities revealed that Eric Mosley and other EST affiliates bailed out a dude named Kevin Lawless. Lawless is accused of killing a dude from West End named Brandon Waddles and his daughter, Trinity Randolph. He was convicted of attempted murder back in 2017, but was later released on parole. The checks that paid for Lawless's bond were under the Everybody Shine Together Entertainment name, and G raps about him on his track, Skydweller. Lawless is known by the name Lil Kada, and on Skydweller, G raps, "They want 1 mil for Lil Kada. Know I'm coming to get you, baby. Know my heart might get me killed, but it got me here, so risk I'm taking." G wasn't naming the indictment, but a lot of people he's close with got wrapped up in it. For right now, it seems like his legal situation is all good, but it only takes one dude snitching to bring the whole thing down. Eric Mosley is facing up to 10 years, and the other EST affiliates are probably looking at similar sentences. Lawless is out on bail now, but he could get the death penalty if he's convicted. But one thing's for sure though, none of this is gonna stop G from his grind. He dropped 2 albums in 2021, Bigger Than Life or Death, Part 1 and 2, and even Jay-Z reached out to show him love. Now, he's got a collab project with 42 Doug in the works, and his career is in a better spot than ever. If he can avoid the legal issues and petty beef, there's no telling how far he'll take it. ESTG is
a lot of these artists though, for real. Like a lot of these artists come from similar backgrounds. Like, you feel me? Lil Baby know for sure. Like, if you go down, you feel me? It's over. Like, it's bigger than the streets now. It's bigger than, you know what I mean? You know, running organizations in the streets. Because now you're getting big money. You get what I'm saying? You in a public eye, so it's just like you gotta stay away from certain things, bro. And I feel like ESTG is definitely learning because he's new. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, bro, you getting a bigger bag than what you could get in the streets for real. Like, you getting a way bigger bag. It's legal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing what you gotta do. You making music. Like, you living life, bro. But I feel like a lot of these artists, you know, they still in this high. You know what I mean? But just like they get caught up in the street life so much, man. It's just like that could also bring their career down. You know what I mean? Like, it's time and time again, we've seen that, we witnessed that, so it's just like, yo, bro, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from other people. You gotta see what's going on, you get what I'm saying? Stay out the way. Feel me? That's the story of ESTG, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about this in the comment section down below. It's crazy. How this nigga even get information like this, bro? Hey, niggas really be doing hardcore research, bro. Not me. I ain't got time for that, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, man. It's your boy DJ. I'm out of here.